Is that it? Good evening, everybody. There are some seats left, except mine. So please do come and take a seat. Welcome, everybody. My name is Sue Shave, and I have the privilege of being the acting director at the Jewish Museum London. That doesn't usually get a cheer. That's wonderful. I'd like to welcome everybody here to the museum. Put your hand up if you've been before. Oh, okay, lots of gold stars tonight. That's wonderful. Lovely to see you all. If you haven't been before, let me just tell you a little bit about where you've come to, because we're absolutely delighted to be hosting the Mitzvah Day Awards. We did our own Mitzvah Day event back in November. It's wonderful to see all the charities come together today, and great that we've got the food bank with us here. So if you don't know about the museum, we are all about the heritage of Jewish people in Britain. So we have an absolutely incredible collection. Some of you have just come and reminded me that I showed you a little bit of that collection a few weeks ago. We have about 40,000 items. Some of them are Judaica. We've got all sorts of objects from ordinary people's lives. We've got archives, all sorts of things. And they're mostly Ashkenazi. We don't have very much Sephardic Jewish people's representation in the collection, but we are working with Sephardic partners at the moment to try and bring some collections to the museum to be more representative. And to build some stores for them. So those objects are all about what we use in our displays upstairs. They were redone a few years ago. If you've been before, you'll see the story is really all about medieval Jewish people right through to almost to today. We've got one new gallery up there, which is all about queer Jewish people and also black Jewish people, as you can see around the room. So one of the things that we are very keen to do, and we do very well indeed, is to conduct all sorts of wonderful learning programs. We have a fantastic learning and engagement model, which is all about challenging prejudice and, of course, challenging anti-Semitism. So how we do that is we have a really wide-ranging set of workshops that we do with our school children from Key Stage 1 right through to GCSE. And that's all about learning about Jewish life, Jewish faith, Jewish culture, positive images about Jewish life and Jewish people, the whole diversity and range of Jewish people, as I've just mentioned. One of the things that we are doing is collecting images of a real wide range of the diversity. So we're actually going all around the country at the moment with a little bit of funding from the Association of Independent Museums, collecting those images, and we're very keen to hear from people who can help expand that. And we use that with our teachers, because teachers have to teach two religions, and Judaism is usually one of them. So they come here, we do the workshops, we also do virtual broadcasts and virtual classrooms. And the last virtual broadcast that we did at Hanukkah, we had nearly 7,000 pupils watching in 65 schools around the country. So I think, that's a really good example of the 20,000 contacts that we have with our schools during the year. We also go out to care homes, usually Jewish care homes, but not exclusively. And we take some of the collections that I've just talked about. We're up to nearly 600 older people that we've been working with in the last year, with our staff, with our objects, in terms of reminiscence, combating loneliness, well-being, and so on. So we really do work very hard to not just be about the wonderful job of preserving Jewish heritage, but also about making an enormous impact on society. And I think that's one of the most incredible things that a museum could and should be doing for the Jewish community at Jewish Museum London. So like many of our guests here tonight, I'm sure we've got lots of charities here, you all know that times are incredibly tough, aren't they? So, I don't know about you, but our costs have gone up from when I came in November, because I'm very new, the costs were £3,000 a day. When I calculated them about a month ago, they've gone up to £4,000 a day. I'm sure that's not a surprise to many of you. That is something that all charities are having to wrestle with. And I'll say, hats off particularly to the food banks that are helping to feed people who are struggling. I will say that, with our situation, if you feel that you would like to help donate to the museum, our colleagues at the desk will help you. We've also got a lovely shop full of fantastic books and all sorts of other things. So do come back and support us. We're open on Thursdays and Sundays at the moment, and occasionally in holidays, extra days. We've just done Chocolate Week. You missed it. It was fantastic. Valentine's Day, we had people here, whole, families with small children right through to grandparents. They came and they made Hanukkah donuts at Hanukkah. We've got the community kitchen next door, which is where we do all this. We do baking every Sunday. In Chocolate Week, we made lots of chocolate pastries. So, what is not to love? So do come and support us that way. Buy a ticket and come and go on one of our tours and help support us. But it's such a delight to see you all here today. I'll hand over to Laura Marks, who is going to kickstart this fantastic ceremony. Thank you, Laura.
Well, it is such... Oh, before I start, actually, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats here at the front. So if you are standing at the back... Anyway, it looks better in the photos if the front's full. So do come and fill in the seats. There's about another 3 if you guys want to come and sit down. It's much more comfortable and doesn't block the doors. And it looks so much better. Lovely. Okay, there's one more seat if anyone wants it. Oh, there's not. So I'm Laura Marks, and I'm the founder and chair of Mitzvah Day, and it's such a pleasure to have you back after the pandemic and to this wonderful room. Thank you so much, Sue, for having us here at the museum. It's an absolute treat, and I'm sure we're all really grateful, and everybody's going to be gagging to come back again and see it in more detail, so thank you. And the reason that we're here today is because we're having our awards. And we used to have our awards before the pandemic, and we missed it. And the reason we missed it is because the awards are about 2 things, really. 3 things. It's about celebrating our charities that we work with. There is no Mitzvah Day unless there are projects to do. And the charities who need us sometimes get forgotten. And the charities who need us are the people who make the projects happen, who are doing the work day after day, who, when we've all moved on to Hanukkah or whatever the next thing in our communal calendar is, they are still day by day making it work. So one reason to be here is to celebrate our charities. The second is to say thank you to people who donate to us, who give their time, who give their energies to make the organization function. And so we have the awards for that. And the third and the main reason that we're here is to thank our coordinators. Because the coordinators are the people who do Mitzvah Day. There is no Mitzvah Day without the coordinators. And the room is full of coordinators from all around the country. And all of you have thought about, well, what matters to my community and which charities do we want to support? And how can I get people along? And how will I make sure that they're all there and that they've got the right whatever they need to bring, and how will I communicate with them, and how will I thank them, and how will I try to get the rabbi or the head teacher or somebody else involved, and how am I going to make sure that people want to carry on doing it after Mitzvah Day? And that is all down to the coordinators. And that's why we have the awards, because we want to meet you, we want to shake your hands, we want to say thank you, and we want to bring you in and make you part of us. So before we even start, I want to say a huge thank you to our coordinators. I think you deserve a round. The way that this is going to work is we have got 8 awards, right, Stuart? And we're going to do 6 awards, then we're going to have a little pause for a bit of chat, and then we're going to do the last 2 awards. We're going to go through the awards quite quickly, because if you're not getting one at that moment, it's not very exciting. So we're going to go through the awards. But everybody goes home with something, because we're very liberal-minded like that. So. And the most important thing is afterwards we've got snacks and more snacks, and please make sure that, I think I've met pretty much everybody in the room, but if you haven't met us and you haven't met Stuart, our chief executive, and there's Emma, and Laurie is here doing crucial work somewhere. Where are you, Laurie? At the back. Make sure you've met us. because that's what it's all about. It's all about our relationship with the coordinators. So thank you all so much for coming. One other thank you before, I'll thank her again at the end, but the Jewish Chronicle have been instrumental in making today happen. And I want to thank Debbie Rose, who's here from the Jewish Chronicle. Really, we couldn't have done it without them. So thank you. All right, enough chat from me. Introducing Stuart, and we're going to get straight into those awards, right?
Thanks, Laura. There was a crazy rumor that Daniel Craig was coming this evening. I apologize. I'm no James Bond, but it's such a pleasure to be here. For the last 10 months, I've had the privilege of being the CEO of this fantastic Jewish organization. I think what's the most lovely about it is there's no foribbles, there's no broigus, there's no issues. And that's because of all of you. You make Mitzvah Day what it is. You are the ordinary people that do such extraordinary work. And we're privileged to have you and to celebrate you. So on behalf of the trustees present this evening, the professional team, we just want to salute you and salute you for everything that you do. So let's get on to why you are here. And hopefully I can finish on time. So how are we going to work? If you want to find out about the projects and the fantastic people, we have put up 8 posters by the snacks. Take the time to read it. I do need to tell you that 1,500 individuals logged on and registered and voted on each individual category. So 1,500 people took the time to vote for you and your projects. And I want to say also again to Debbie Rose and to the entire team at the Chronicle, we really couldn't have done this without you, and it's a pleasure working with you. So here we go. The All Aboard Award for Outstanding British Mitzvah Day. And I'd like to call Aidan Kerwin and Evelyn Andresa up on stage. Each category, I will call up the nominees. The nominees will come up, and then we'll announce the winner. Everybody's going home with something. I ask that you stay on stage. Yakir will take a photo. It's incredibly important, because the one thing I want you to do after the awards is to follow us on social media. Josh from us 8 Original, who do such a fantastic job. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. We're just about everywhere, so you can find us there. The finalists are Newcastle Synagogues, Edgware and Hendon Reform Synagogue, the fantastic tenants from Jewish Blind and Disabled, South Hampstead Synagogue, and finally Stanmore and Cannons Park Synagogue. If a representative can come forward, please. We can have a representative from each of those organizations. We have Brenda from Newcastle. On a trip to Newcastle, I met many Brendas. I did. And the winner. Is everybody upstage? All aboard, our fantastic sponsors on stage holding the plaques. Thank you, Laura, for reminding me. And the winner is South Hampstead Synagogue. Just to let you know, more than 100 people participated in their Mitzvah Day, and they conducted multiple projects on the day. Congratulations and well done. Just if you can stay on stage, we're going to have everybody together for a group photo. All the award winners, after we're finished, if you can come collect me, there's a little element that you need to collect. It's the pins for the plaque. We'll give it to you afterwards. Thank you, everybody. You can take your seats. And again, a shout out to All Aboard for being such a fantastic supporter of the work that Mitzvah Day does. For many people, they don't know that Mitzvah Day is not just a project that takes place here in the 4 home nations of the United Kingdom. Across 37 countries, 15,000 volunteers, nearly 250 organizations take part in Mitzvah Day. With us this evening, we have David Ginsberg, who is our international trustee. He's flown just in for this evening's event, all the way from Cape Town, South Africa. And we're appreciative to have you and Wendy with us this evening. Thank you very much. The finalists were Neder Barcelona, the National Council of Jewish Women Canada Winnipeg section, Mensch Mitzvah Day South Africa, Mitzvah Day Lazos, and Stratford National and Secondary School in Ireland. And the winner, sadly not with us, but we have a message from the winner, is the National Council of Jewish Women Canada Winnipeg section.
Hi, everybody. We're the women of the National Council of Jewish Women Winnipeg section, and we are so happy to accept this award. Mitzvah Day unites Jewish and non-Jewish organizations and charities across our city, forging links within and across communities. We are very proud to have brought Mitzvah Day to other sections of the National Council of Jewish Women in Canada. Thank you very much for this award. Thanks.
We would just like to thank Edwin Shuker, who sponsored that award for us. Thank you, Edwin. Debbie Rose, if you'd like to come up from the Jewish Chronicle. Young people are critically important. They shape the generations to come, and we're inspired to work with young people and see the fantastic projects that they roll out. The nominees for this category were South Hampstead High School, Huddersfield University JSOC, UGIA Matana Club in Glasgow, Edinburgh JSOC in Edinburgh in Scotland, and 20th Finchley Cubs and Scouts. If you could, one representative could come up, please. As you can see, some of the categories we have struggled. Unfortunately, there's a national train strike at the moment. So we're doing the best we can, and we're grateful for those that have attended this evening. And the winner of this category goes to South Hampstead High School. Debbie, if you want to say a few words.
I just wanted to say thank you very much to Stuart and his team for allowing the Jewish Chronicle to be the media partner. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you and your team, and we are always very happy to work with Mitzvah Day throughout the year. So congratulations to you, and congratulations to all the winners as well. Thank you so much.
And I just want to thank the Jewish Chronicle. On each of your seats is a tote bag with the latest edition of the JC. Give it a read. Our monthly editorial, so cleverly timed, is in it. We move to the Anglo-Jewish Association Award for Outstanding Interfaith Partnerships. One of the things that Laura is so passionate about and that we share as a professional team is being a bridge builder to see communities come together. That's what it's about. When I walked in this evening and I saw all of you and all your organizations networking and talking and building friendships through Mitzvah Day, my heart really did swell up. That's what it's about. That's what the work's about. We're trying to build better communities. And I just want to thank all of the nominees and those that didn't feature this evening for the work that they're doing in Interfaith. The finalists are Lincolnshire Jewish Community and Lincoln University Multi-Faith Chaplaincy. Michael, if you can come to the stage. Sorry, thank you. Michael is from the Anglo-Jewish Association, and we thank you for sponsoring us this evening. Worcestershire Interfaith Forum, the Emmanuel Project in Bradford, St. Albans Mazorti Synagogue, and finally the Barnet Multi-Faith Forum. And this year's winner, St. Albans Mazorti Synagogue. Another new friend of Mitzvah Day, and we want to thank the Benefact Group for sponsoring this award, Giselle Waterman. Thank you, Giselle. Often I get asked the question, Mitzvah Day, you're those people that do one event a year. And I've got to constantly say to them, no, we don't do one event a year. We create opportunities for you to do Mitzvah Day projects every day, all year round. And so an idea was birthed by the fantastic trustees called Mitzvah Moments, which are essentially micro-social action projects, enabling everybody to do a project any day of the year, whether it's big or small, making massive changes to the world that they live in. And so the Mitzvah Day Year-Round Award, supported by the Benefact Group, goes to people that every single day in their communities, every week, are doing fantastic projects, making sure that they do good for those in their communities. And so the finalists were Neda in Spain, Broughton Jewish Castle Fox Primary School in Salford, Project Impact, the York Liberal Jewish Community, and JW3. If you could have a representative come up to the stage, please. And the winner is, everybody's so nervous looking on stage. You're all winners. And the winner is JW3. Councillor Nadia Shah could come up on stage to help me hand out this award. The award is sponsored by the Council of Greater Manchester and Region. One of the things we are trying to change at Mitzvah Day is that often people think that we're only London-based projects. And all across the United Kingdom we have the fantastic projects. You can see by this evening the length and breadth that we stretch. So one of the things which we've done and focused on over the last 10 months is to ensure that we participate and have projects not just in the boroughs of London, but across the United Kingdom. And so last year, Laurie and myself went up to Manchester, South Manchester, and we had our launch. And this year we will continue that theme by heading down to the coast. We are going off to Brighton and Hove, to the brand new BNJC Centre down in Hove, where they're trying to rebuild a Jewish community. And we'll be launching this year's theme, so watch this space. But let's talk about last year's theme. Last year's theme was the Winter Warmers theme, where we asked people to focus on spiritual warmth, physical warmth, and to reach out to people and really connect and check in to see how people are doing. And so who represented that the best? And here they are. Bedfordshire Progressive Synagogue, Kingston Liberal Synagogue, Bushy United Synagogue, you can cheer. The Association of Jewish Refugees, and Queen Mary University JSOC, if you could come up. We're all up on stage, ready to go. And the winner of this award goes to the Association of Jewish Refugees. At this stage, we're going to take a slight pause of handing out awards, and I'll call up Laura Marks, who'll be running an on-the-couch session to talk to some fantastic charities and to find out what's happening in government at the moment. Laura. You can grab one of those.
So we've got two speakers. Nadia Shah is coming, Councillor Nadia Shah. Oh, and Michelle is coming. Where's Michelle? Yeah. Brilliant. Michelle. Okay. We just thought that. Yes. You're going to switch on your microphone, don't worry. What we wanted to do was just, given that we've got so many people here and given that you're all interested in the issues, we thought that we'd talk about two issues, just briefly get some views on some perspectives. That's not good words. And we've invited Nadia Shah, Councillor Nadia Shah here because she is in charge of interfaith relations in Camden. And as Stuart mentioned, we're very passionate about building our interfaith relationships. We say that Mitzvah Day exists to bring people of all faiths and backgrounds together through Jewish-led social action. And many of our Mitzvah Days are obviously in London and in Camden and Barnet, but as we've heard today, all over the country and all over the world. But we thought we would ask Nadia to come along and tell us a little bit about why she thinks that interfaith relations matter, and what sort of things they're doing in Camden to help foster better interfaith relationships. So thank you for coming. Welcome.
Thank you.
And to start off, just tell us a little bit about the work on interfaith relations in Camden and why it's so important.
Okay. Well, firstly, I just want to say it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really proud of the fact that we have the Jewish Museum in Camden. It just shows the beauty of our diversity here to another level. So thank you for being here. I co-chair the Faith Leaders Forum with Rebecca Filer, who's a new councillor, and it's the first time.
Who's also here, I think. Rebecca, are you still here? She was here for a bit.
Okay, she might not be here anymore. And it's the first time in Camden that we've actually had two co-chairs who are women who are sort of leading on the interfaith work. And the beauty of it is that everybody who gets involved, their intentions are good. And that's why it's such a pleasure to be co-chairing the Faith Leaders Forum, because obviously there are lots of challenging things that I come across and have to discuss and disagree with and agree with, being in the position that I am, being a cabinet member. And we know what's happening with the government at the moment with the cuts and the cost of living crisis. And unfortunately, disadvantage then rears other ugly heads in society, which we try and quell through our good work with the Interfaith Forum and our community organisations and the VCS. So I also am in charge of the voluntary sector. I sort of, not in charge, I look over them with my cabinet position, and we very much value the grassroots work that we do, because it's the voluntary sector and the faith leaders and the faith forums who actually tell us what the problems are that we may have missed when we're doing our political stuff. And we like to have those tight relationships within our community so we can very quickly prevent things from happening or going wrong, and it's really important to garner those relationships, and we're really pleased to say that we do have very, very good relationships within all of our faith communities in Camden. I have to say that the Jewish community are very much involved and organised. Other communities, other faiths, we are also come in with good intention, but we also understand that there's prayer times and other things that happen, so we can't always get all our faith leaders together at the same time in the same room, but we do share the values and the value of being in that partnership.
So we've got a room full of coordinators here.
Yeah.
And our aim is that within the next 5 years or so, every one of our communities is going to be doing something interfaithly. So if you were to say to our coordinators, how would you, not all Jewish in the room, but mostly Jewish, how would you advise them to build stronger relationships with their non-Jewish neighbours? What's your top tips?
The top tips are that we're all human beings at the end of it, and there was a discussion that we were having before COVID, unfortunately, which was like, you know, we're sort of losing our sense of community a little bit, and we don't speak to our neighbours, and what do we do to get our kids off the computer and playing all these games, and, you know, why aren't they playing with each other instead, and why is it unsafe to let our kids out their doors because we're frightened. And we shouldn't be living in a society like that, because everybody deserves to feel safe. Everybody should feel safe. And the basic thing is that you should be speaking to people and showing kindness and love, and that's what you're doing through Mitzvah Day, through faith, and we really appreciate that. You know, it's such a big thing, and well done to you for bringing many faiths together to do that. But I say, the basic thing is we need to talk to each other. We need to show kindness in small ways. It doesn't need to be huge. You know, small. You know, you don't know if your next door neighbour, the person who doesn't speak to you and looks at you strangely, has got a mental illness. It doesn't cost you anything to take that first step to say hello.
Thank you. And as coordinators, then we are here to help you and to support you as you reach out to the communities that maybe you haven't had contact with, the church down the road, the mosque down the road, the Gurdwara, another school, another faith school. And sometimes it seems a bit daunting to reach out to people who we don't know. And yet, when it's what we're doing is social action, it's something that they're all going to be doing exactly the same as we do, then it's a sort of relatively easily open door to push on. Any other top tips for people here and how to reach out to other faith communities, given that these people are all coordinating their Mitzvah days?
Well, you could. Well, our local authority has lots of information on all the faith institutions and other faith leaders and community organisations leading in faith type of activities. You could always reach out to us to help you to get in touch, or your other representatives from, because everyone is from all around the country, so you could reach out to your local authority and your friends. And, you know, that's how you would do things. I mean, obviously we have lists, friends might not, but then that's how you socialise and network and then learn about who you should be speaking to, who you could speak to. Your friends could open up avenues for you to meet different people, and that's it, really.
Thank you. So it's lovely to be here. It's lovely to know that Camden take interfaith relationships so seriously, and it's lovely to work in partnership with you. So thank you very, very much. And moving on to Michelle. So Michelle comes from QCCA, and we're going to tell us a little bit about that. And QCCA has not yet been involved directly in Mitzvah Day. So it's interesting to hear about what you're seeing and what you're thinking and how you think Mitzvah Day could be part of your charity. So tell us a little bit about your charity and introduce yourself to lots of people who might want to help you.
Okay. So I'm Michelle, and I work for Queen's Crescent Community Association, which is right in the middle of Queen's Crescent. I don't know if people are aware of it, but it's Gospel Oak, and it's the single poorest neighbourhood in Camden. We beat Somerstown, we beat every other place in Camden. We are the most deprived. It's a community centre, a community charity. We have all sorts of different programmes. We have a wonderful older people's service. Mary is here. If you want to talk to her later, she's head of our older people's service. We do things like lunches and craft activities and outings, wonderful things. We have a very big youth service. We do advice and guidance, which is incredibly busy at the moment, and Belinda is here, and she is key to that. And of course, we have a food bank, which sadly is probably our biggest growing programme, and thank you for everything you brought. It was all really good quality stuff, so thank you. Lots of tuna, which just goes like wildfire, and hygiene products. So, I mean, for us, volunteers are the lifeblood of what we do, and we had a lot over COVID when people were furloughed. We had about 200 people on our books. Of course, people went back to work, so we now have about 30 regular volunteers. It really keeps charities like us going. You can do it for a day, a Mitzvah Day, or you can do, you know, lots of things for shorter periods, a couple of months, or a long-term thing. volunteering at things like the food bank, sorting out food, things like data entry, things like volunteer bus driver. We're desperate for a volunteer bus driver if anyone fancies that. It's a lovely new bus.
So we always say to our coordinators that the first thing they should do I think sometimes people think, well, what we're going to do is we're going to collect, I don't know, pasta for the food bank down the road. And actually the food bank doesn't want pasta, it wants tuna, let's say. So we encourage our coordinators to first of all speak to the charity and find out what it is they need.
Yeah.
How do you work with volunteers in working out what you need and encouraging communities to come and get involved with you?
Right. Well,
and what people as volunteers can do that is needing, because on Mitzvah Day we don't collect money, because obviously you want money most. But what is it that you advise people to find out about you, to find out what you need?
Right. I mean, you know, we have a website, we have a contact phone number. Phone us, talk to us individually. But I think the important thing for anyone who wants to volunteer with the charity is that they come and try it. You know, there shouldn't be any fear about just stepping forward, coming and doing a day, a couple of days. No one, a good charity is not going to make you sign up for 6 months. You know, it's about, you know, do you like the soul of the place you're volunteering at? Do you like the people you meet? It's a very individual thing. Different charities fit different people, but it's about, you know, you could try a few. You could say, right, I'm going to do a bit of research. I'm going to try QCCA, but actually I also want to try a refugee charity or whatever. Just try a few.
And as coordinators, we would encourage you to, I mean, quite often for Mitzvah Day, coordinators choose a charity you're already working with, which is absolutely fine and brilliant because you develop that relationship and you deepen that relationship and you get more of your community involved in that relationship. But sometimes you're looking for a new charity, and sometimes, therefore, there's the opportunity to look at several local charities to you and think about which of these resonates with my community, which of them is something that our members, whether it's the congregants or school members or children or students, which one would this one resonate with? And so coming and visiting and finding out a bit about you would be step one, right?
Yeah, come and have a cup of coffee. Or watch other people working for an hour or so. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And when you're thinking about this year's Mitzvah Day and getting involved, what do you think that would be a useful thing for volunteers to be doing for your charity?
I mean, we have a lot of opportunities. The food bank's an obvious one. But we also have special events. We have things like older people's lunches. So you could come and just sit and have a chat. You could do some telephone befriending if you wanted to do something a little less face-to-face. We have, you know, like a lot of charities, especially community charities, if they're organised, they'll have a lot of different opportunities. Just have a chat.
Thank you. So, as I say, the charities are the backbone of Mitzvah Day. There is no point in having Mitzvah Day if we're not supporting charities. And I always feel very strongly that you have to support them in ways that they want. It's no good starting off with what do we want to do. We have to start off with what does our charity, or what does the charity we've chosen need from us, and go from there. So it's really lovely that you took the time to come and tell us a little bit about you. Thank you all of the people who brought food to donate to your food bank. I hope that there's a nice little pile of tuna to take home. Now I know what it is that food banks want. I'll make a mental note of that one. And we've got charities here, one of the awards we've got yet to come, because we are so aware of how much work charities put into Mitzvah Day to make it so successful. So thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you very much, Nadia. And we will move on. Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
So I was incredibly naughty, had to go check out the Facebook stream, and reports in saying everybody here is looking fantastic. Winners and nominees look really good. The style, the Oscars are second best, so well done, everybody. This year was a particularly difficult year when it came to individuals. There were so many fantastic names, so many people doing such fantastic work. And so we couldn't just have one winner. We felt that that would actually be an insult to everybody that's performing. And so you're all going to be winners. And an important partner is Nikki Goldman at Jewish Volunteers Network. if you want to come up. JVN is such a critical partner to the work that Mitzvah Day does. So I think I'm preaching to the converted in the room, but I'll talk to Facebook. If you're interested in volunteering or you're nervous to dip that toe in the water, give Nikki a call at JVN and she'll point you in the right direction. It makes a massive impact in your life. And I feel it when Laurie and myself and Emma go to the charities and work with them on the ground. And so we're going to call up all the winners. Abigail Mann, Brenda Levinson, Ingrid Siegel, Subhash Chelaya, Owen Power, Dan Ozero, Sam Bernstein, and Alexander Dominique. If you can all come up. I've got it, don't worry. Just again want to thank everybody that could make it this evening, and to those that we know are watching on Facebook. Owen, we know that you're out there, and thank you for being a fantastic supporter too. Thank you, everybody. And we just want to thank the Rachel Charitable Trust for sponsoring that award. Ingrid, a short word. I'm on time.
I just want to say I've been doing volunteer work since I was 16 years old. And I just want to let you into a little secret. I'm going to be 80 years old in 3 weeks' time. Well, I'm from Northwood United Synagogue. And yes, we've done very many diverse roles. And I always promise them we're only going to have 1 or 2 things, but we always end up having 4 different projects. But this Mitzvah Day, Laura, you're a champion. You deserve every honor that you receive, because every mitzvah does matter. And you have made so much difference to so many people. And this is the most incredible organization, and it's the most incredible privilege that I've had working with you over the last few years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ingrid. So this evening, we have Camden Giving with us, and we have some of their partners. Please take a moment to go and engage with Camden Giving and their partners, to chat to them, to find out what's happening in the borough. One thing that I've learned about, and it's not just because Laura is from Camden, but wow, there are fantastic projects taking place every Mitzvah Day in this borough. So I hope that you'd engage with Camden Giving. We're going to be doing a lot of work in this borough this year. So Laurie, after this event, we move to the next task. And we start again. So now we honor the Beneficiary Charity Awards. Mohammed Shafi from Camden Giving, if you're with us, if you could please come up. Like Laura said, Mitzvah Day is nothing without the charities. We do work from a bottom-up process. We like communities to choose charities that resonate deeply with them. And so if you're unaware of a charity to work with, or a partner, or you're looking to somebody who meets your needs, visit our website. We will be uploading and looking for more beneficiary charities. But most importantly, this year, we will be working far closer with those charities, discussing with them ways that we can highlight their project, visit their project, and actually get our hands dirty too. So we've done a couple to start off the year. Keep watching social media. See, Josh, another punt. Social media, please. And so here we go. And they're also all winners. PJ Library, the Gratitude Project, Comfort Cases, a new one this year, Second Chance, and Separate a Child. And while they take their photo, if we can give a massive round of applause for all the work that they're doing. Thank you, everybody. Emma, if you could just bring me the 2 parcels that are under the table. This is my last act before I hand over to Laura for an overall thank you. There are 2 tiny black parcels under the table. At the back. Thank you. Thank you. Got it. Behind every successful CEO are colleagues and sometimes partners that become friends, that drive you, to push you, to pick up the phone, that send you that message late at night. And this evening is about saying thank you. And so there are 2 people I'd like to highlight. We're a small team. We really, really are. We're 2, and we're glad that Emma has joined us as an intern for a couple of months. First person I'd like to personally highlight is Laurie Sean, who has joined me to take over. If you can come forward. Laurie is going to be the face of our projects. She will be talking to beneficiary charities and coordinators. So if you haven't met her yet, I urge you to meet her. And somebody else over the last 6 months who's come into my life is Debbie Rose at the JC, who has supported me and has supported Mitzvah Day. And this evening would not have been the same without the JC and Laurie. And so thank you both for your friendship and your guidance and your support. And the problem with a politician or an ex-politician is you never give him the microphone. He never knows when to put it down. I was a counselor once upon a time. And so I will say my thanks to everybody here this evening. And I will hand over to our fantastic founder and chair, Laura Marks, who will wrap up and do the final closing.
So here we are on time, astonishingly, amazingly, for any Jewish event. We are wrapping up at 8 o'clock. But afterwards, as I said, there's snacks and there's sweet things to eat, correct? Yes, there's something. And there's more wine and soft drinks. So do stay and make sure that you have introduced yourselves to all of us, especially to Stuart and to Laurie, so that we can build those relationships. And my job is just to say thank you, first of all, to all of you for coming, particularly people who have travelled from outside of London. Now, I've written down that there was people here from Leeds, Newcastle, Huddersfield, York, and Worcestershire, and Winnipeg, and Boreham Wood, of course. Is anyone I've missed that's here? And of course, David, who's here from South Africa. Anybody else here from outside of London that I didn't mention? Lincoln, thank you. Lincoln. Sorry? Which one? Is that right? Oh, because you had the new Lucretia of Lincoln statue. Anyway, so well done all of you for coming from a long way. It's really appreciated and wonderful. And we really do appreciate you coming down, particularly with the transport as it is. I want to thank again Sue from the Jewish Museum, Debbie, obviously from the Jewish Chronicle. We have some people who are donors in the room. Thank you, a big thank you to people who donate. We don't ask for money on Mitzvah Day, but we do need money to function. So thank you to the people in this room who have donated money to us to enable us to function. We have to pay our staff a bit. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to our sponsors. Each of the awards was sponsored by a donor, and Stuart mentioned them all, but thank you again to all of you. That really makes a difference to us to be able to put today on. Thank you to Nadia and to Michelle for coming and giving your wisdom on the stage with me. It was really helpful, I think useful to hear a little bit about it from a different perspective. Finally, thank you particularly to Stuart, to Laurie, and to Emma. We're really very lucky. Stuart's been in post for 10 months. It's lovely having you, Stuart. Pleasure working with you. We don't argue that much. Do get on really well. And also there were a couple of other people I wanted to thank. Graphical, who are here, who do our design work. Q8, who are here, who do our social media. I want to thank the people at the back who are doing all of the technical stuff. We have 3 trustees here as well. We have got Lee and Laurie and David. And is there another? Oh, and Amelia's here as well. Of course, Amelia's here. Amelia has been a trustee for about 2 days. And Lucy, I mentioned, and so we've got wonderful trustees, and it's mostly a thankless task being a trustee. So thank you to all of those who've taken it on, and thank you to our new trustees who've joined us. And I think that is all the thank yous. Oh, yeah. So we're going to do a group photo. Given that most people in the room have won something, Yakir, I'm wondering, would it be easier to do it that way than to do it this way? What do you think? Whoa. Put your hand up if you've won something tonight. That's about a third, would you say? Should we put them up here? Up you come. Up you come. Group photo, group photo. Laurie, Stuart, Emma, come on. Up you come. Thank you and goodbye to Facebook. Thank you and goodbye to Facebook. Everybody up on the stage.
I'll go to the back.
We might need to move those chairs, you know. Let's move the chairs off the stage.